Introduction to selectors. So what is selectors? So basically selectors are used to select elements in a web page. Once again, selectors are used to select elements in a web page. What does that mean? Let's take examples. Like first, this is the P third, P fourth, see why it's Lauren 20. See, a web page can contain many elements. Like here we have 4 p tags, right? And we want to style this one. We want to add border to this p element. We want to add some animations to this p element, right? So to do this we need to select that element, right? To do this we need to particularly select these elements. Here selections comes, right? As I said, selectors is used to select elements inside a web page. We have various types of selectors like class, id, elements, and many more. Today in this video we will look only two things, two type of selectors. The first one is id selectors, the second one is class selectors. So first one is id selectors, right? So id selectors is used to select only one element inside the whole page. id is we can say id is a unique value given to any elements. How do we do that? Let's see. We want to give a id to this. For this we have a special attribute which is known as id. We will give, what is this id? Third. This is a unique id given to this element. We cannot give the same id to multiple elements. If we give, then how it will be unique? It will not be unique, right? So if we want to select a particular element, only that element, we can give a special id to that element. Here we will give in open tag as an attribute which is known as id and anything. How do we select? We will select in css using hashtag and name of this as it is. If it is in capital, we will do capital. If not, if it is in a small, then we will do a small. Let's apply some css to it, like border 1 pixel. See, here we can see border to this particular element, which is this third lorem impulse, where it is third lorem impulse, right? So we have selected this element inside our whole page using id selector. How do we know that it is ID selector? We have given a special ID to this element and we are selecting that element here in CSS using has and the name of the ID. Can we give this same ID to others? Let's see. Here it is working, but it is not recommended because it should be unique. In bigger production, it will cause error. So please give only one element, a single what I can say, a single ID to a single element. Remember, ID cannot be a single element cannot have two ID. Note point to be noted is for ID. Let's write it for ID. Well, we have already learned UI, right? So we will use first ID can be given to a single element in whole web page. Always remember, means if this element has ID third, we cannot give ID to other element which is third like this. Like this, we cannot do that. This is not allowed. The second point is to be noted that a element can have only one ID. Means if this element has already a given ID, we can't give ID another ID to this like A. This will cause error. Where it is causing error, it's not showing, but definitely this is not a good practice. So always remember, a single element can have only one ID. First point. Second point, what was the first point? An ID can be given to a single element in a whole web page. Means the same two element cannot have same ID. This is the rules for ID, and using that ID we have selected it, right? As you can see, now we can apply as many CSS as we want, like width 30 pixel. See, this 30 pixel, we can give 300 pixel as well. We can give padding. So what is padding? We can give margin as well. Can you see, we have given an ID to this element, and using that ID we have selected it and giving properties, means applying a style to that particular element. Here we have four values. First one is the border. The border will be 1 pixel. It will be solid in a style, and in the color will be red, as you can see. Width means this from here to here. What will be the width? 300 pixel. It is 300 pixel. Even if I make it maximum, you can see all the other elements have full width, but it has 300 pixel width. The fourth one is padding, third one is padding and margin. We most of the time we confused. Suppose if there is no any border, how do we know that how much padding it has? And basically means, how do we know that if there is a difference, there is a space here between this element and this element, then on what basis that space is there? Is it because of padding or because of margin? To know that, we apply border to it. Now see, padding is the space between content and border. As you can see, this is the border, right? And this is the content. Here we have given 10 pixel. 10 pixel means from all the sides it is 10 pixel. So the distance between this border and this content is 10 pixel. Distance between this border and this content is 10 pixel. Here also 10 pixel. Here also 10 pixel. Let's increase it to 20. Can you see the distance has increased between the border and this content? Let's increase it to 50. Now it is clear. So clearly we can see padding is the distance between the border and the content. So this is the border and this is the content, and from all the direction we can see it has 50 pixel distance between the border and the content. So this is the padding. What is margin? Margin is the distance between distance or space. Would be right word. So a space between the border and the outer element. For this is the outer element. Here this is the outer element. This is the here in this side, this is the outer element. And if I increase it, this is the outer element. Since it has lot of space, we can't see it is 50 pixel, right? 20 pixel margin. So this space, this sentence margin means we want to keep 30 pixel space between the border and other elements. What if I increase it to 0? You can see the distance has been decreased. Still still there is a difference between this content and the border. Why? We will see later. Let's give it 50 pixel. Now you can see the distance between this content and this border is 50 pixel. What if I increase it to 100 pixel? Can see distance space between this content and the border is 100 pixel. Here this space between this border, this one, and here this is 50 pixel. Similarly, here we can see 50 pixel, 100 pixel. So margin basically means the space between border and outer content. What if we want to give the space here 100 pixel and here 50 pixel? How we can do that? We can give this using two way. The first one is this shorten property. We can see here we have only one value, which is 100 pixel, right? So it will apply margin to this element in all the direction 100 pixel, top, button, left, right. But if we want to if we'll give want to give top and bottom 20 pixel and left, right, 50 pixel. We can give this like this. Now you can see this value 20 pixel top and bottom. It will specify top and bottom. This 50 pixel, the second value is left and right. Let's increase it to 80. See, only top and bottom effect got affected, but left and right is same. So the first value defines, the first value is for top and bottom, the second value is for left and right. We can increase this to maximum 4. Now what? Since we know that an element has 4 sides, top, bottom, left, right. So the first value is top, this one. Second value is right, this one. Third value is this one, button. Fourth value is left. Let's save it and see. You can see the first value 80, right? 80 pixels. Here we can see 80 pixel margin. Second value 50, which is left. Since we have what? The width is 300 pixel, so there will not be no any difference. But if I remove this, now we will see this value, this difference is 50 pixel. What if I increase it to 100? See, it is 100 pixel now. The fourth value is button. It is currently it is 0. Now I will add 20. See, there is a space. Let's do it for 60. Now it is 60 pixel. Here we are adding 10 pixel. Similarly, we can do this for padding as well. It will also accept 4 value as the margin, and the first value will be of top, the second will be of right, third will be of bottom, and fourth will be of left. So this is for selectors, ID selectors. Now, why do we want to select a single element? There are many purposes. Here we will see only one purpose, that is to style that element, only that element. Here we wanted to style this element, so we have given ID to it and applied using CSS. We have applied many properties to that element, right? The second type of selector is class selector. How we can give? We can give using attribute class. Let's give A. We select using dot. Let's have border 2 pixels solid blue. Now you can see I have given a class to this element, and using that class I am selecting. So to select a element using class, we need dot. This dot followed with name of the class, and we can apply this same CSS as previous one. Then what is the difference between class and ID? The difference is a single class can be given to multiple elements, like this. we can copy it and give to other elements as well. Let me keep a special only border to this 2 pixels blue. As you can see, I have given this A as a class to this element and this element as well, and using that class I am giving some CSS properties to that element. So if we want to style multiple elements in the same way, like we want to give border to this element and this element as well, so instead of giving a particular ID to each and every one, we can give a class to everyone, same class, and apply CSS like this. We can do the same thing via ID as well, but for that we need to give ID to this first, then ID second, then we need to give select first, second, like this. Why it's not sorry, see, we can do this. Let me remove. See, we can do this by selecting using a ID selector, but can we improve this code? Of course we can. How? We can see that both the element have a common property, which is border blue. So instead of writing separate CSS to each and every element, we can give class. We can give class to all that element, and now class to all that element, and we can apply CSS in a single line. Instead of writing separate, we can apply CSS to each and every one, like font size 20 pixel. Both will have a font size of 20 pixel. So point to be noted for note for class a single element can have multiple class, like see, there is only one class which is A. We can give B, there will no any effect. We want to give we can style it background color red. See, this element has two classes, A and B as well. This element has only A, so it will apply all the CSS of A and B as well in this element. So here in A we have border blue and font size 20, so border blue font size 20, and in B class we have background red, so it is red as well. So a single element can have multiple classes. Second point is a class can be given to multiple elements. What does that mean? See, here is class A, right? And we have applied CSS, and this class can be given to any number of elements. So this element also have class A, this element also have class A, this elements can also be have class A, right? 3 element has class A, this one, and this one. So all have the property border blue and font size 20. But in case of ID, we cannot give a single ID to multiple elements. So what's the difference between ID and class? We can say that a single ID can be given to only one element. But in case of class, class can be given to multiple elements. Like here, for example, here this element has ID first. Now we can't give this ID to other elements. But this element has a class A. In case of class, we can give this class to any number of elements. This, for example, this element has also class A, this element has also class A, this one has also class A, and anyone can have class A. This can also have class A. See this effect. The second point is the element can have only one ID. For example, for this element, it can have only one ID, that is first. Here in case of first, we cannot give another ID to, like this, we cannot give another ID. It's always making this. But in case of class, a element can have multiple number of class. For example, this element here, it has two class A and class B as well, separated with AB. If I remove a space, then it will become AB, and there is no any AB in our CSS. So each class have a space. So this is for classes and ID.